And somehow I managed to get new artwork, but I screwed up the date. It's 28th. So this is the show for the 28th. For those of you that are like, hey, wait a minute, it said the 22nd. Look at Frank just jumping in right away with a question. My front stage is being... All right, Frank, you're going to screw up the show. Let's just go for it. If my front stage is being drowned out by my sub, can I double the power to the mid bass to get more volume, or do I just need speakers that handle more wattage? Kenwood Excellent reference. So, yes, part of the answer to your question is correct. You need to be able to get more power to those front mid bass so that you then tether the subwoofer to the front of the car. How you achieve that, you could add a second mid bass or a louder mid bass. That's a pretty excited mid bass there. But yes, you need more mid bass up front to draw the sound forward. So you're on the right path. Pick the one that works best for you and rock on. I should have got something to drink. But thanks for your question. And for those of you that are like, hey, I have questions, go ahead and get them in the queue. In a little bit, Fernando we'll get to it. We got a couple things we want to get through right here in the beginning of the show. First off, thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. We are a little askew. If you caught us on Instagram today, you know that we have a giant Dodge sitting here out of frame that is making it, it's not a lot of room in the install bay with the Dodge in the way. So we had to kind of, but hey, you know, it's always fun to take another look at the shop. No, not at all. But it is Monday, which means we have the 12-volt clean wire club pick of the week. Fernando has scoured the page. If you guys are not members of the 12-volt clean wire club on Facebook, I strongly recommend you join, as well as post. Post your stuff, man. We want to see it. Don't be shy. Don't worry about comments. Don't worry about... Screw those guys. Really?
You got to worry about comments because...
Why you got to worry about it? I don't worry about comments.
No.
Screw yeah. Anyways, let's take a look at what we got here. We got this nice Sony build. Who is this from?
His name is Kenny.
Kenny?
Kenny, yeah.
So Kenny did a ES Sony build. That's right, because this all lights up. This has like LEDs underneath it and fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
This week's brought to you by the fine folks at WireCare. That's right. If you'd like to enjoy the savings that WireCare is offering, you still have time. Not much. You got days. But use the coupon code 12VCWC or 12-Volt Clean Wire Club, and you can take advantage of free shipping here in the continental U.S. You have a couple days left before this expires, like 2, maybe, today and tomorrow. And then we negotiate to see what next month will happen if they're going to be a member. But we want to thank WireCare for being a sponsor. We hope you guys have taken the time to go over to WireCare and see what they have and make a wish list. A lot of the stuff they have tools, they have TechFlex, they have heat shrink, they have custom heat shrink. It just happens,
I know,
John.
right?
I know, it's just what it is. But anyways, thanks you, WireCare, for being a sponsor of the show for the last couple months. We've really enjoyed it. Do they have 1 month left, or is this the end of it?
No, just 1 more.
Oh, we got 1 more month?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, then you got another month in a couple days.
Yes, 1 more month.
That's right. We started them in February. All right. So that's what we got there. So make sure you guys... here we go. Just received my first WireCare order. I love how he put the word first.
Very nice. Very nice. So, hopefully you use the code so at least you can get, free shipping.
Yeah.
So,
hello from Vegas.
What's
up? Any luck with the new 2022 Silverado head units? And by luck, do you mean replacing them or integrating with them? There's 2 questions there that could happen. So fill it in, and we'll get back to you. Now, we talked Saturday about a special project that we were working on. It was top secret that we really couldn't talk about. And today on Instagram, we kind of pan slowly across it. They're back there. Anyways, this weekend, for those of you guys that have been living under a rock or whatever, the MasterTech Expo is this weekend. We have a couple challenges that are going on, 2 big ones. The Build-Off, which has 4 teams of 3, and then the Clean Wire Challenge, which has 8 individual competitors. Tonight, we're going to show you the trophies. That's right. We were asked to, well, we were going to do our clean wire trophy. As soon as we did that, Fernando did an awesome job designing that, and I just, mapped it out and did this stuff. But he was the creator of it.
Don't blame me, man.
It's all your fault.
Dude, no.
So we're going to show you the trophies that we were asked to build, which are pretty cool. They're fresh designs from Fernando. And like I said, all I had to do was the laser work and design. So the first trophy up is going to be for the 12-0 clean wire champion. This guy right here. Ooh, look at that. These are legs that are designed to come off. As you can see in the bottom here, we have ghosted in the year 2023. And then along the side here, that's actually wiring. So the purple is there also. It's kind of dark, so you might not be able to see it. This is the 16-gauge speaker wire that comes from Metra. So this is the fast, their fast wire that they have. He wanted the ones with the black stripes to make it more interesting. This is going to be the nameplate. So this is designed to pop off, and we have 8 nameplates, which we're going to get to in a little bit because we need to talk about that. So their nameplate will go here. Obviously, Clean Wire Challenge, big 5-star logo. It's made out of a bunch of acrylic. So we got white on the back, and then we have 2 pieces of black, and then a big, thick piece, a 1/2 inch that the whole thing is made out of. There's also, which you can kind of see right there, see the tip of up here by the 5, you can see that tip. There is a zip tie that is etched into the black acrylic also, just because, we have to have at least one zip tie in there. So this is what they're going to get. So the winner of the challenge is going to get this trophy here. And then the build off, since it's teams of 3, they are going to each get one of these. So this obviously is a router bit. It says build off. On the build off, you have an etched line on the inside of this, the blue to match the logo. We got a cool tape measure across the bottom that Brian goes, oh, it's like a clean wire ruler. Might be, might not. Anyways, the hole here is for the winners' names, which I'll show you in a second. It says winner, Match Track Expo. And up here at the top where the bearing would be, you can see it right there. That is the date. On the back, it is there again, white, and it goes over here in the corners, of course, a 5-star logo. Not too, you really can't tell, but that way at least, our name is on it somewhere because we built them. And then this is made out of the same amount of acrylic. You have an 1/8 inch, a piece of 1/4 inch black, a piece of 1/2 inch clear, and then a piece of 1/4 inch blue on the front. And then these are made out of 1/8 inch gray. But there you go. So there's 3 of these bad boys, and the teams, one of the teams is going to take this home. And then we got the name tags, which I showed on Instagram the other day. So each team is a color. So you got green, you got red, you got blue, and you got orange. And their names will just drop in there, whoever the winner is. We don't know who's going to win, so we had to make all their names. How fun is that? Yeah. Now, for us, since we're doing the Clean Wire Challenge, we have 8 competitors, and they're all right here in my hand. So they're all these guys right here. Like here's Dan Wilson from Columbus Car Audio, Pierce from Music Car Northwest, works up there with Tom Miller, Danny out of DTS out of Michigan, Angel, Jason, Marty, Canadian Marty, Eduardo from Orlando, and then Phil Cantu from Mobile Toys. And so they're up. You can kind of see they're upside down right now. And what we need to do is we need an order that they're going to be drawn in. So when we get there, we're going to have 8 cards, and they're going to have the systems on the back. And we need to call up one guy at a time, and he needs to come and draw one of the cards. But as you have 8 guys, and as one guy draws, the number to draw from is going to be smaller, smaller, smaller. So this was really racking my brain. I was like, I want to make it as fair as possible. We've given away enough stuff, and we've listened to you guys, so we kind of know, like, we got to make it as fair as we can. So what we thought we'd do today is we're going to draw who gets to go first, second, third, through 8. So when we get up there, we can just call their names, and they will get to, it'll go accordingly. So we have them all turned upside down. It's all black acrylic. It all looks the same. And I'm going to put 1 through 8 on here. You excited, Fernando?
I'm so excited, man.
You sure?
Oh, dude. Yes.
All right.
So excited.
So we'll keep them all right here where you can see them. And do me a favor. Why don't you draw the first one for me?
Okay.
It's okay. The questions will be there. Just randomly pick one. Just pick one. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Just pick one.
They all look the same.
That's the whole point. Go ahead and pick one.
Oh my, the first one.
All right. So the first guy to go is going to be Phil. All right. Oh, why did I put it as an R? Phil. His new name is Real. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So your name.
All right. So Phil gets to go first. I'm going to draw this one. Danny is going to go. Danny. All right. Go. Pick.
Let's see. This one.
All right. So this is Jason from Canada.
What's his name?
Jason from Canada. Name? Something Canadian. Okay. My turn. So I'm going to pick Danny Wilson.
Danny Wilson.
He works with our friend Jay Cook.
Oh, okay, right. Cool.
Yep.
This one.
This one? All right. Try not to drag it across the card.
I know.
You got Eduardo.
There you go.
Ooh.
Eduardo's number what?
Eduardo's number 5.
Number 5.
Johnny 5 is alive. Okay, right. My turn. I'm going to pick Angel. Woo, that's right. Angel gets to go 6th. Okay, next. Just pick one, man. Marty. Miss Canadian Marty. Woo.
Marty.
Well, there we go.
There you go. And the last one is going to be?
Pierce. Oh, Pierce is not going to be happy. There's always got to be one last guy. Okay, so how they're going to be when we get up on the stage, we're going to call out the order. And we got Phil will be first, followed by Danny, Jason, Dan, Eduardo, Angel, Marty, and Pierce. And they will get to draw from 9 systems. So we actually have 9 systems instead of 8. That way there's an extra one. For those of you guys that are going to Master Tech Expo, you could possibly win that 9th system. That is going to be given away to one of the voters. So when we're done, somebody's going to vote on this, and then one of the voters is going to go home with a system.
Wow.
I don't know why I still have that on. Okay, let me shut. Oh, not that. Keep the recording on. And shut that out. Here we go.
Perfect. So there you go, guys. So now we have all the contestants.
Yeah. So that's the build-up.
That's it. So no, that's the clean wire challenge.
That's what it is. Now, as far as how the week is going to play out, we will be here Friday doing the news. We'll be on live doing Instagram, but Saturday we will be in Mesa, Arizona, so there won't be a Saturday show. However, don't feel bad. There will be a show sometime either Monday or Tuesday when Fro and Fernando go and take you for a tour of the facility and show you everything that is going on, take you deep into it and let everyone see what kind of stuff is there at the show. So that ought to be fun and exciting. And I know you guys are dying, chomping at the bit for me to answer questions. So let's hit a couple questions, and then we'll hop to the show sponsor. Oh, why did I do that? That was bad.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, give me a question.
All right. Here we go. That's the first one.
Go ahead and read it for me.
Hey, guys.
Pull something up here.
Using an Audison Using an Audison SR 1500 for subwoofers.
Okay. Yep.
Will lower ohm load result in a higher than what?
Will lower ohm load result in higher the... Well, it will do 2 things. One, it's going to higher the amperage draw, so it will draw more current. It'll draw its maximum amount of current that's at the fuse rating is at. And 2, it'll give you more power. So those are the 2 things that happen when you lower the ohm load. But keep in mind, you have to lower it to whatever the minimum amount of ohm load that amplifier can perform at. So if the lowest is 1, you have to keep it to 1. But all the ratings on the amplifier are going to be for that. They're assuming that's what you're going to do.
All right. Are you going to put your sponsor of the show?
No, I'll do one more.
Okay. All right. Talking about subwoofers now. Looking for an SQ subwoofer for use in a seal enclosure. Any suggestion?
Actually, it's funny you should mention that. So Jackie and I had that conversation on Friday. One of the sealed woofer champions that we've had the pleasure of dealing with, they're again an Electromedia product, is the Hertz Milli subwoofer. They make the Milli Pro 10 and 12-inch woofer work amazingly in a sealed enclosure and is a total SQ subwoofer. So I would head over to electromedia.com, go to the Hertz tab, and check out that woofer. It works fabulously well in a small steel box. We've done a couple of those.
No, I'm staying with my T1.
No.
Yeah.
No. The T1 is great. I mean, that was the shallow, but you know, yeah, trust me. Jackie's not going for that. All right, go ahead. All right. So let me pull this up since I said give me 1 second. I'll turn this on. Go ahead and turn off the comment. What we got is sponsor the show. You guys know this one, Mosconi-America.com. You know, I'm not going to dig real deep into this because, you know, we are pressed for time, but I will say this. If you have not been over to their webpage, definitely check it out. All the new products are scrolling there across the top. It's real easy to navigate. There's a lot of cool stuff they make. Saturday, we took a look at the Atimo DSP and how small it is. It's the tiniest little coolest DSP ever. Check out their products. You won't be disappointed. And I'll just keep it simple. So next question, Fernando.
Next question. There you go.
Dean, would there be any sound difference between using a dedicated DSP to do crossovers versus using all passive crossovers with mid bass and highs? Yeah, there'd be a difference. There's totally be a difference. There again, the difference would be what you're trying to achieve with the passive crossover versus electronic crossover. So one of the joys of using electronic crossover is that you get to choose your slope of the crossover, 6, 12, 18, 24, 36, 48, and what type of crossover you would like. Regular Butterworth, Linkwix Riley, Bissell. So there's a lot of different choices there to allow you to build your electronic crossover. And then take in consideration the attenuation that you also get with an electronic crossover over a passive crossover. Passive crossovers are typically limited the amount of attenuation you have, if it has it at all. So sometimes they'll have like a 6 plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, 0, and that's it. That's all the adjustment you have. Going active, you have full adjustment. Now keep in mind, going active, though there is the benefit of being able to build your own crossover network, you're still struggling the same way that guy that designed that passive crossover network is going to struggle, meaning you have to know your crossover points. You have to know what volume you need to play it at, what crossovers work better, what slopes work better. These are all things that, like building your electronic crossover, everyone just, oh, it's cool, I can just go active. And it's all, no, it's not. There is still a certain amount of thought there, and you can really muck up the sound. Keep in mind, when you look at really high-end, or any home speaker for that matter, guess what they all use? Big-ass passive crossovers to do their job, because I get it, it's a line array, so there's some of that already done for you. Whereas in a car, you know, you might want to tweak things and whatnot. But there's a good and bad on both sides. So, yeah. See you at Mesa. Can't wait.
I know.
It's like this week sucks. Is there a difference in audio quality between 4 ohm versus 2 ohm? If we're talking about the speaker, no. Meaning the speaker should sound identical. So like if you take like a Rockford P3 dual 2 and a Rockford P3 dual 4, they should sound identical. There should be there should be no difference. Not almost. There should be no difference. If you look at the specs, there might be like 0.02 difference here or there just because. But no, they should not sound different at all. Now, as far as the amplifier goes, that's a whole nother headache. In some cases, when you look at like let's say highs, Jesus, I can't even talk. Highs Class D amplifier, meaning Class D amplifier, they're going to run mids and highs. Technically, will they run 2 ohm? Yes. Do they like running 2 ohm? Some of them do not. Some of them will sound different, and that's the amplifier side of things, not the speaker side of things. Some of the Class D high amplifiers just fall apart. It's just what they do, because they give you the 2 ohm rating, but they assume you're always going to be running it at 4 ohm or somewhere thereabouts that 4 ohm world. So now as far as subwoofer amps go, there again, technically they should sound the same. Now, do some amps do better at a lower ohm load than at a higher ohm load? Yeah, or, like running at 2 ohms as opposed to 1 ohm. Better built amplifiers, it won't really matter. However, keep in mind your amperage draw is going to go up considerably in some of these amplifiers. So amplifiers is more where the problem is at, not the speaker. Did you two call each other asking, you know what, I wish I did. But, I mean, the reality is we have 3 different types of shirts. We have this, we have blue, we have gray. I think he has a purple.
I have purple.
Yeah. So the chances are good that we're going to wear the same shirt. It just happens.
It is.
How's Maestro with Pioneer head unit and instrument screen? That's a good question because a lot of people don't know when a radio becomes Maestro compatible, Maestro just gives you the data and then a basic layout of how to design your user interface as far as like gauge clusters and stuff like that. So like some of them don't do that good of a job, meaning the graphics are kind of weak. When you look at the best version of iData, it's always going to be Kenwood JVC because they're on the Bonus Plus program and they get everything first. They also put a lot of effort into designing their user interface. Other manufacturers sometimes looks kind of weak and cheesy. You know, it just kind of happens.
All right.
Yeah, you know, it's what it is. Hi, Dean. I purchased the latest Audison VH. All right, time out. Let me start over. Hi, Dean. I purchased the latest Audison DSP Virtuoso for my Honda Ridgeline with the premium 8-channel. Should I need an Epicenter Micro since the Honda has high-pass filter for sub, or will the Audison DSP auto fix this? Auto fix is a funny thing. Will it auto fix it? I don't know if it'll auto fix it. Can it fix it? Meaning, can you throw in a high shelf? I'm sorry, a low shelf in there and fix the problem? 100%. It'll fix it, no problem. The Virtuoso is capable of creating a high shelf. Geez, I don't know why I keep calling it a high shelf. I'm sorry, a low shelf. What a low shelf is, which I hate saying that, a group of frequencies. It kind of, like the drawing of it kind of looks like a crossover. But if you're rolling off at, if you're rolling off at like 80 hertz, you wouldn't set it right at 80 hertz and create a low shelf, but somewhere thereabouts, and it's going to just be a shelf, meaning instead of you having to go raise this frequency, raise this frequency, raise that frequency, it takes the whole group of frequencies from whatever that center axis point is and just brings those up. And that's what you need to fix your Honda, is a low shelf. It's also convenient too if you want to base a whole bunch of treble, like you just use a high shelf, do the same thing. But no, the Virtuoso is capable of dealing with the problem, 100%. Shouldn't need anything. Low shelf equals Fernando shelf.
What's that? Yeah.
Oh, that was so bad. All right, hold on. All right, go ahead. Ouch. I have crazy question. Doubtful. Can you replace the radio in a 20 to 23 Chevy Tahoe? Not yet. No. That is technically not that crazy of a question, but the reality is no. Not as of yet. One day, I'm sure you'll be able to, but right now, no. I know Metro was looking at the kit, and I've seen prototypes of kits years ago, and my question was, who's going to replace that radio? Apparently somebody.
This is a follow-up for the Virtuoso.
Yeah, I do listen to 80s and 90s rock too. There again, the question is, will the Virtuoso fix the problem? Yes. Now, if you want to have fun with your 80s and 90s rock music, then yeah. An Epicenter, after you've fixed the signal issue with the Virtuoso, is a fun piece to have for sure. I could totally say yes, buy it. But you won't need the Epicenter to fix the issue. The Epicenter will just be there to have fun with for 80s and 90s rock music. So from that regard, totally.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Is he going? Are you going?
Yes, he's going.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. Get the crew back together again.
Yeah.
5'2" and below.
That's right.
In the house. Can you explain me? Probably not, but I'll give it a try. Why salespeople who sell car audio like car amplifiers and subwoofers sell their customers more watts on amplifiers than what woofer can handle? For example, I bought a, why doesn't it give us the whole thing? I bought a JL. Okay. Honestly, I don't really have a good answer for this.
This is the second.
Okay.
JL
monoblock Class D amplifier, 600 watts, and the car salesperson sold it to me not knowing I didn't need that car amplifier. I needed the 300 wedge style woofer. Okay. All right. So here's a couple. All right. I don't know why that particular person sold you that, but here are a couple scenarios in which having a bigger amplifier isn't such a bad idea. All right. So first off, I might talk to you and you might tell me, I don't know what I want to do. I was thinking maybe 110 or 210s, 112, something like that. And I go, okay, cool. So you're a little bit undecisive, which is fine, or indecisive, which is fine. So I might go a little bit bigger amplifier so that if you just decide to do 112, I could run it at, let's say it's a 1 ohm amplifier. I might run it at 2 ohms. That way, though, if you decide like a month later and you go, man, I really wish I would have got the 210s, you come back in, I say, hey, no problem. I can throw 210s in there. I have an adequate amount of power. So there again, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm selling you a bigger amplifier because you don't know whether you want to do 112 or 210s. I want to make sure you get the amplifier to do that. Second reason for it is like the Honda question where the guy says, I have a Honda Accord. The Honda Accord has a high pass filter at 80 hertz. And I might not be able to deal with that problem. Like no, I just want this. So, fine. Okay. If I sell you a bigger amp, I know that you, let's say, only need 300 watts and I sell you a 600 watt amp, we're golden. I know it's going to fix the problem because I'm going to sell you a bigger amp. And at those frequencies that we want to play, meaning 80 hertz and below, I'm going to have 600 watts. So that is really only going to get me about 300 watts out of that amplifier just because of the low pass crossover in there. I'm going to be powering up through it. So I'm using power to fix the issue as opposed to something to fix the signal. So that is one other reason I might sell you a bigger amplifier. Plus, you know, there again, if we're doing a high level and I don't know the car, a little bit more power might be a better move because if I can't go out there and look at what the factory signal is giving me below 80 hertz, having more power is great. Now, if you have an aftermarket head unit, that's going to be totally different. At that point, I have a controlled environment in which, yes, selling you a 300 watt amp makes way more sense. So there's two reasons there that I might sell you a bigger amplifier. Now, the third reason is the one that you're probably expecting, which is I want to sell you a $200 to $300, $400, $500 amplifier because, well, you know, I might not have sold anything this week and I need to feed my kids. So, and you're willing to buy it, I'm going to sell it to you. So there is that too, and that'd be the downside to it. But
what's up, Bobby?
What's up, Bobby? Happy Monday, for sure. Oh, what do you got?
Oh, that's Doug.
Ouch.
What's up, man?
I think he was talking about your low shelf thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man. You know, I was cleaning that plexi, and that's all I can smell now is the plexi rags from that.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
I got this one.
Hey, there we go. 2014 Ford F-150 looking to do a Maestro RR with the F-150 kit. Spectacular. And a Maestro-compatible radio. Do I retain the factory sync system? Would I lose Bluetooth steering wheel control buttons if I don't retain the sync features? Okay, so would you retain sync? Hell no, I'm not going to retain sync from a 2014. Goes bye-bye. Will I retain the buttons? Hell yes, you'll retain the buttons. You'll get all the buttons you need. So it's a great replacement. Take that radio out, put your new radio in. All your steering wheel control buttons are going to migrate over to the new radio. So if your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, push to talk is going to be push to talk. You get to keep all that stuff, but there's no reason why you'd want to keep a 2014 sync module or sync system in conjunction with a new radio, because a new radio is going to sound way better, 100% better. You know, Bluetooth has evolved a lot in 9 years. So, but no, full functionality. It's great. We actually just did one of these 2 weeks ago. Surprising, I know. And it was wonderful. You still get the knobs, like when you turn the volume knob, it still goes up and down. Oh, it's spectacular.
All right.
Greetings from the EU. Yeah, I'm not.
Slovenia.
See, there you go. I want to connect a FiO M11 plus the Helix V8 M2. See, where's Doug? Doug can answer this question. Currently, I have via SPDIF to Toslink to Bluetooth. Wow. It would be better in terms of sound over a 3.5 on RCA to Helix. Probably not a 3.5 because what you'd want to figure out is what the signal limitations are over the 3.5, let's say to RCA. Sometimes there is a limited frequency response out of that particular thing. So that might not be the best answer. You might be, if that FiOS is Wi-Fi, you might want to go for the Wi-Fi card. But that's what I'm thinking. And there we go. As I said, Dougie would be in. Use the HEC USB. There you go. That's the answer to that question. Thank you, Doug. You're the best.
There you go.
See, that question was tailored directly for him.
Yes.
It was so awesome.
All right.
All right. Hold on. There was a follow up to that. All right. Hold on. Let me start that. Okay. So, hey, no lock on reverse camera and the buttons on the steering wheel. Any other suggestions? The connections are connected the way they should be in a 2018 Accord LX. Trying to think if we've ever had any problems with that. So when it comes to a backup camera,
steering wheel control.
Well, it says backup camera too. So let's I'm just taking it in reverse. So reverse camera, steering wheel controls. So reverse camera, when integrating into a factory reverse camera, hopefully whatever kit you got gave you a step-down transformer. Usually if it's like a metric kit, it's a little tiny thing with a couple blue wires coming off. It's black. It looks like this. The reason why is a factory backup camera does not work off 12 volts. A lot of the times what we see is people skip that step. They don't put the little transformer in there. They hook up power and ground to their backup camera, and they blow up their backup camera, which really sucks. It happens, especially on a Honda and Toyotas and Nissans and stuff like that. Or they just totally forget to put the power supply in to power up the backup camera. That's really the only problems we ever run into with like factory backup cameras is they'll get the RCA, but they don't power the backup camera up. So sometimes that's a problem. As far as the steering wheel controls go, 9 times out of 10, that's the wrong wires. I mean, they're either pinned wrong, which happens a lot, believe it or not, or you just got the wrong wires altogether. Whoever made the kit should be able to walk you through the process of figuring this stuff out. So if you got a Metra kit, which I'm guessing it's a Honda, chances are good you did, I would give Metra a call and see what they have to say. You might be okay. All right.
Okay.
What would you recommend for adding a 5-channel amp and sub to a 2023 Chevy Tahoe? I would recommend first off getting a kicker key lock for the front channels at least, preferably 2 of them if you're planning on doing rear, but you want a key lock to address the factory system in that car to make it sound the best that it can. Now, if you're just going to put a 5-channel in, no DSP, no nothing, okay, cool. You might be all right with just connecting a 5-channel to it, get a nice 5-channel amplifier that has like awesome high level to low level built into them. To do that, one of the favorites that we like to use just so happens to be the next sponsor of the show, which is these guys right here, Audio Control. So Audio Control makes the LC5 1300, which is a fabulous amplifier. It has an LC7i built into it. So all you can literally come right out of that radio directly into this amplifier, high level, and be done with it. Now, here's the problem you're going to run into, why I recommend going with the key lock and a DSP amplifier. The biggest problem that you're going to get, hands down, every single person that has a GM, the first thing they ask is, dude, the chimes are so loud. How do I fix that? For that, you need an EQ, because you have to go in there and create either a notch filter or pick that band and turn it down. Because what's going to happen as soon as you amplify it, that door chime is going to amplify with it. So to fix that, DSP will fix it. Now, fortunately enough, Audio Control also makes the D5 1300. The reason why you still need the key lock is to go in there and just make your life easy. It's going to flatten out the signal, get rid of any of the nonsense that's on the factory, make your job way easier, which is important, and then go from there. So would the DM and fit in what? what are we trying to fit that in again? I forgot what is that the Honda?
The same Tahoe.
I have no idea. I don't know. Probably not, because there's probably not enough room behind. Might be. I don't know. Haven't done one. Maybe.
Okay.
What's up, fellas? Ready for Master Tech? Hey, Angel. You missed the beginning of the show, but since you're here now, I will tell you. So we drew at the beginning of the show. We drew to see who was going to draw first their system.
You forgot your microphone, dude.
No, it's way over there. It's just not as fun. I know if you can't see the cool lights. Anyways, just so you know, Angel, here's the list in which you guys are going to be picking your prizes or your competition. The prizes / amplifiers. So, anyways, Phil's going to go first, followed by Danny, Jason, Dan, Eduardo, and then coming sixth is Angel. You get to draw sixth. So that means you're only going to have 4 systems to choose from. Ooh, bummer. Followed by Marty at 7 and Pierce at 8. Really stinks for Pierce. But somebody has to be last and somebody has to be first. So it's just what happens. It's okay. Bypassing stock amp when doing DSP. That 100% depends on the factory amplifier and the car. So so there's a couple different scenarios. This is one of those, integrating into a factory system. And we'll just kind of give it an overview. So in a modern car, what happens is the radio is here in the dash and the amplifier is wherever it's at. And what happens, the communication between the radio and the amplifier is not a variable signal, meaning it's done through data. So a full frequency output comes out of that factory radio into that factory amplifier. When you turn the volume knob, it's actually adjusting the gain pots in the amplifier. It's digital. They're not actually pots, but it's adjusting this. So that signal never changes the voltage. So when you pull that factory amplifier out, what you get is no way to control the volume of the system. Now you can go with some form of external volume control. However, where it gets even more exciting is depending on the make and model of the car, there might be more than one thing coming into that amplifier, meaning door chimes, Bluetooth, GPS, all these other safety things can be coming from their own signals into the amplifier, and the amplifier themselves is routing them to where they need to go, meaning what speakers need to play. So for example, like backup sensors playing through the rear speakers. That's a whole nother thing that's talking that factory amplifier and telling it where to go. So what that means is that most of the time in a modern car, going before the amplifier is not possible unless you have some form of integration device. And that's where like your Amp Pro, your Zen module, your AR, your Metro pieces, those are designed to interrupt the signals coming into the amplifier and reroute them the same way the amplifier does, but allow you to get 6 channels or 8 channels or 12 channels of RC output to go to your system, and then make sure that like the backup sensors, the Bluetooth, and all the fun little security things all go to their corresponding speakers the way they're supposed to. If there is no interface module, then you end up having to go after the amplifier and do what we call a speaker for speaker connection, meaning whatever the speaker is up here, we're going to put a channel of power to it and maybe a band of equalization to deal with it. So if there's like a 2.5 in the dash, we put a 2.5 in the dash. If there's a tweeter in a 2.5, we put a tweeter in the 2.5. Okay, we're not going to do summing. We're not going to take out like a 12 channel amplifier and put a 5 channel amplifier in that. You don't do that. That's a big no-no. That's why you're seeing more and more DSPs with like 12 and 14 channels, because some of these cars have a ton of channels that you have to deal with. So that's that question and answer. Hi from the UK. What's your opinion? Audison subbox, or do you have other recommendations? I have a Rockford 500.1 for the sub, Audison components, and also Rockford amp Range Rover Sport. Really depends on how much bass you want. I actually have the woofer you're talking about sitting right here on the shelf that was designed to go in my wife's car, and I have a 500 watt amp to power it. For her, it's probably going to be perfect. It's a 10, it's small, it looks good, sexy, but I don't know how much bass you want. You got a 500 watt amp, so there's a lot you can do with that. If you're looking for something small and compact, and go for it. Keep in mind that the bigger the box, the bigger the bass. Hey fellas. What's the best way to integrate a subwoofer into a factory radio? 2012 Honda TSX with premium sound has a factory subwoofer. Is line output converter the only option? For 2012 Yeah. Yeah. You're just going to want to use the line output converter. You're also going to want to make sure and disable the ANC, which if you've been on the forums, there's all the guys telling you how to disconnect the fake noise that's coming through the car. It's a Honda. They've had it forever. So you got to disconnect that first. For that, I would that particular system, I'd probably just get an audio control LC1i, come off the factory sub with it, and just be done, you know.
All right, so that was a follow-up for
the 2014 Ford F-150 question. How you doing?
Oh, wonderful, man.
You doing okay?
Yeah.
I feel you spend way too much time. You're not really enjoying the show as much as you should.
I do. I watch.
You're in a whole different show over there?
Yeah.
You know? Are you excited about this weekend?
Oh, dude, this is gonna be awesome. Yes. I can't wait.
Yeah, what can't you wait for? What is the high point?
I
what
can't
is the
wait
one
to
thing
run
that's going to happen
around like
at Master
crazy.
Tech? Oh, run around like crazy, for sure.
Yeah.
What about the fireworks? You excited about the fireworks?
No, not really.
No?
No, I mean, I want to see the new things that they coming out as fabricators. Like these guys spend so much time doing all this, so that's what I want to see.
I want to see the cool thing that Brian and the guys have been making.
Yes,
because that thing looks huge.
Yeah,
and it just
no,
looks
I don't
so
care about
unbelievably
fireworks. I just care about what actually these guys are doing. Like, yeah, that's
okay. All right. Anyways,
yeah.
If you already changed the receiver for a new one, could you still install an amp? Is there a kit to make it plug and play? All right. Already changed the receiver for a new one. Could you still install an amp? Is there a kit to make it plug and play? No. I mean, are there pieces that you can use? Yes. Is there like a dedicated plug and play piece for it? Not really. No. Pack-audio.com has plug and play harnesses for like their high level to low level adapters. That would really be the closest thing you're going to find to something like that. So maybe check out and see what they have. If that fits your needs, rock on. So pack-audio.com. How the things are going with the acrylic bend machine. Eduardo, hey, guess what? Funny you should ask. So earlier tonight, we drew to see who is going to draw, the 8 of you, and who's going to draw. And you just so happen to be number 5. So when we get up on stage, you're going to be the 5th one. You get to pick right in the middle. So you'll have 5 systems to choose from. As far as the acrylic bender goes, we bought a table for it, and it's sitting in the lobby right now, which is filled with all the stuff that we moved out of the install bay so that we could finish redoing the install bay. However, if you weren't here in the beginning, which I know Angel wasn't, here is the trophy that you guys are competing for. So this is the trophy right here. So one of you guys is going to go home with this trophy. That's right. That's real wine there. This is it. So this is what you guys are competing for. How cool is that?
Very cool.
But no, hopefully when we get back, we can start like cleaning some more stuff up and get back to like actually using the cool things that I spent a bunch of money on.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Oh, that's what they call. Okay.
The rotisserie is badass.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. I'm sure Doug has been over there to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Very cool trophy. Marty, yes. There you go. Marty, you are going to draw 7th. So you're going to be drawing 7th on the thing. So very nice. 3 of you guys so far have got to see the trophy you're competing for. Ada, so trophy you're going to be competing for, my friend.
I feel you should just leave it here.
I know. This is the trophy you're competing for. So you got, there's 3 of these. As you can see, there's 2 more behind me. So one of the teams, I'm sorry. I'm just going to put your name on here because you're going to win. I know that. But this is the trophy you get to take home. Little 5-star logo here on the back so that everyone goes, yeah, 5-star made this. It's ghosted. You can't even really tell. There it is. Yeah. Anyways, so these are the build-off trophies. And then each one of these has a cool thing. So here's your name right there. Ooh.
Team Red, huh?
Team Red. Team Red.
That's it.
So those are the trophies. We're excited. We're excited that they asked us. No,
all right. So now Rich, he's gonna compete for what?
Rich is just gonna compete for our love and affection.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah.
Well, you won, brother. You win this thing.
No, it should not. No, it should.
What's
No,
that?
he said it should have a penis like the Sony trophy. Yeah, no. Sorry, Fernando designed these, so there is no penis.
I don't have nothing to do.
Yes,
with
you
things,
totally
man.
don't be modest, dude. Are you kidding me?
Don't.
Hey guys, what's up? No, Fernando. He worked really hard on those. He did. He spent way. All I had to do was take his design and turn it into acrylic.
Don't.
The designs were all his. Hey man, what's going on? How's it going?
Hey, what's going on? All right.
All right. Hey, Dean and Fernando, need a recommendation for a 2017 Toyota Tundra Limited Crew Max non-JBL with center channel speaker, amp, and aftermarket double din 4 to 600 watt range, Alpine or Sony receiver. All right. So when it comes to Toyota, I am a big fan of the only interface I will use to do a Toyota is an iData interface. So I just use an RR. That's it. I won't use anybody else's. I don't like anybody else's. It's just how it is. So that puts me into an Alpine 407 or the new Sonys.
So much simple.
I feel like I'm leaning towards the Sony.
I'm going to go with Sony.
I feel like I'm leaning towards the Sony. So, but
yeah.
As far as integration goes, iData, that's it. Nothing else.
There you go.
I have a 2015 Ford Edge Sport with Sony Premium. Awesome. I purchased the Amp Pro. I have a 5-channel concept amplifier for previous install. I plan to go components in the front, coaxials in the rear. There's part 2 to this question.
Okay.
I don't know why it's doing this.
Yeah.
No?
No, I can't find. It's a lot of questions.
Yeah. Anyways, here again, I guess the question would be, how am I going to run it? If I have this 5-channel concept amplifier, I probably would run it as a front stage upgrade and put my power on the components in the subwoofer and leave the Sony system to power the center and the rear. Although I would probably take the rear out, center out altogether. Like was this no, this wasn't the one about the center, was it? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So I would use the concept 5-channel to power my front and my sub, let the radio power the rears. Cause with the Amp Pro, you can kill the Sony amp stays in it. So you can still use that to power your rear speakers.
There you go.
Where can I get those metal radio brackets that you use to put the Alpine in the Jeep? You can find them at Pack Parts, P-A-C Parts.com. Packparts.com. They're under Alpine. Alpine makes those. They sell them.
There you go. You're a Corvette guy.
2006 Corvette C6, 2-way versus 3-way with tweeters and custom A-pillars trying to decide. Thanks. Well, if you do the custom A-pillars, then obviously go the 3-way. You know? Sure. Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that mid-range, you can get high enough in the dash. The tweeter's just going to just make a ticky sound just to finish off the mid-range. So, yeah, I would do the 3-way. For sure. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tune a JBL DSP-4? Yeah, the DSP amp with tweeters and mid-range speakers on the same channels from the amp and a 2017 Mustang GT. I need remaining channels for all the other speakers and stuff. Yeah, of course. You're just going to need a crossover for the tweeter, and my guess is you're just going to let the mid-range play all the way up to its natural crossover point. So as long as you're getting components that you can run the passive crossover on, you'll be fine. But a lot of German cars, this is how they do it. The mid-range and the tweeter on channels 1 and 2 of the factory amplifier. So it's a common thing, actually. And actually on the Ford, some of the Ford systems are that way too. What's the best double din you guys would recommend as far as video, GPS, and everything? I've been looking to buy one that plays music while still on GPS. All of them will still play music on GPS. That's just what they do. If you still need a GPS, meaning you don't want to use your phone through your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, you don't want to use that, I would personally look at the Kenwoods, because Kenwood uses Garmin, which in my mind is the best GPS standalone system you can get your hands on. It's the easiest one to use. It's what we all know. So Garmin is built into the Kenwoods, so I would check out a Kenwood. And you can listen to music and do all that fun stuff, whether you're doing Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It doesn't matter. It just interrupts and talks. I have Tempo Ultras in the front. I am going to be disappointed. Am I going to be disappointed if I try to save money and go maximum back? No, we do it all the time. Totally fine. How's Bill Freeman doing? Any updates? No idea. I texted him today just to check and see what he was, that he was in fact there, but no, I don't have anything. What's up? Your words.
I just love it. Just like dude, that's so much fun.
Hold on. Fernando, well, I see you on March 15th to tune. Fernando, I will see you on March 15th to tune my Mustang GT. I can't wait.
Hey, we're going to be here.
Good luck, man.
March 15th. Yeah.
Tune away, my friend. Tune away.
I don't tune nothing. I just run the wires and Dean does the rest.
I know, Ada. I haven't looked into radios in a minute. Are there any double DINs now with really nice refresh rates and not crazy sluggish for $600? Yeah, because you can get us some Mechaless radios. So, yeah. So there again, yes. As far as refresh rates go, it really depends. If you're looking for something intensely graphic, that's going to be your Kenwood JVC. If you're looking for something a little bit more tame, a lot less graphic space, that's going to be your Sony.
Okay.
May 15th. Oh, okay, cool.
Still. Yeah. Dean is going to tune it.
I don't even know what's going on in May. Where are we going to be in May? I don't even know what's going on. I know April, May. Oh, that's after. Oh, being Indy. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
In that 2017 Tundra, would you use the Kenwood Excellent high-res 7-inch or the Focal Inside 8-inch shallow components? Or you have the 6902s also, the Kenwood 6902s. I feel we use more of the 6902s inside of those than we do anything else. So, but I don't know. I think that, man, that's tough. Like that 8-inch, that might still be tough to get in there. That's a lot of work. I'd probably just do the 6902s and be happy.
Yeah.
Have you replaced the radio in a 2015 Honda Pilot? We've done pilots. I don't know if we've done a 2015. I don't remember what the dash looks like. But if it's the older dash, yeah. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Pull something up. Need some recommendations on receiver, DSP, and amps for 2008 Explorer. Morel Hybrid, 630 up front with JL Audio. As far as receivers go, I mean, we keep talking. I think we covered that between Kenwood and Sony JVC. I think we pretty much hammered that. And then, DSPs, DSP and amplifier. I'm a fan of, obviously, amplifiers with DSPs built into them. For one, it takes up a lot less space. It's just easier that way. If Adam was here, he'd be yelling and going, dude, check out the ARC stuff. Like the ARC Blackbird is awesome. And any of the ARC DSPs are fabulous. Audio Control is sponsor of the show. Audio Control makes a ton of DSP amplifiers, such as the D51300, the D61200, the D4.800. Those are 3 amplifiers there with DSPs built into them. Moscone also has the ones. So there again, I like that. Audison also stepping up their game, coming out with a new Forza line of amplifiers. One of my personal favorites is the new 814 or 812. It's one of those, and I think it's an 814 that has 8 channels of DSP. They have 3 companion amplifiers that are designed to work with it. So it's an 8-channel amplifier with outputs for more stuff, which is really cool. So there's a lot of things to choose from. Price wise, yeah, that's anyone's game.
All right.
I mean, you gotta be PC, bro. Gotta be PC. Okay, 5 minutes left. All right.
I don't know where you put it.
What did I put?
The question
What question?
that I just put.
I probably deleted it on accident. You keep looking. So I put 4 DC audio level 1 12s in a Sentra, and both my side mirrors stopped. Motor stopped working, and my rear view mirror fell off. The trunk lock broke. Do they make that stuff for loud builds? No, man. That's awesome, though. Like, way to go. That's so cool. I mean, something like breaking your car to have bass. I think that's pretty spectacular. Hey, Dean and Fernando.
There he is.
This one?
That's that one, yeah.
Okay. Hey, Dean and Fernando. I have a 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. Trying to put an aftermarket amplifier and sub. The Nissan Pathfinder has the exact same radio. The iData Maestro has a harness. Think it works. I don't know. I mean, does iData list the 2022 as functioning for it, and they just haven't got around to 2023? That's possible. A lot of the times on websites, if they can't validate it, they just don't put it. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. They just haven't validated it yet. So if iData lists the car, like 22, 21, chances are good, yes, it's going to work. They just haven't validated it yet. So actually, nobody has paid for us to answer any of these questions. There's not been a super chat at all. I kind of find that offensive. So thanks, Ken, but no, nobody has paid us a dime to answer any of these questions.
I wish. What was your question?
We are down to just a couple more days before Master Tech. Yes, we are. I know. It's going to... SQ Snob says that the DM608 sounds like crap and the Helix destroys it. Thoughts?
Oh, sorry.
No.
All right, so that was your question.
What? Forgot.
Just,
I've been asking the same question with you guys. Not into Chevy or Sony.
We do Chevy.
This is a Ford.
We do Sony.
It's a Dodge.
So yeah, Dodge. We do both. I mean,
I owned a Chevy for 13 years.
You did?
Yeah, 10 years.
That's crazy.
I haven't been around forever. Either way, back to the other question. I'm done with that. I don't care. I'm done with that. Okay. SQ Snobs say that the DM608 sounds like crap and the Helix will destroy it. Thoughts? So I feel like sounds like crap is kind of a hard line to take on something for sure. I don't think that is fair. Is there more features built into a Helix? Yes. Do you necessarily need those features? That's up for you to decide. The new update on the audio control adds in a lot of the basic features that we've been looking for, such as a parametric EQ, some way to deal with all-pass filters, expanded crossover points. So from that perspective, it has a bigger box of tools to deal with a lot of the problems. But compared to a Helix, Helix has a Snap-on box of tools compared to, let's say, a Craftsman box of tools. If your problem needs a Snap-on box of tools, then, yeah, you're going to be way more happy with the Helix. But then again, hey, tomato, tomato. Chevy sucks, Ford is great, Ford sucks, Chevy's great. It just depends, It depends on what you're trying to do. They're both pretty awesome. We sell both of them. Different situations call for different tools.
All right.
That's it. That's all we got.
Hang on.
What am I hanging on to?
There you go. Any tips for a 2007, 2012 Chevy Silverado hooking up some Sony, the 6000s with the iData Maestro RR? Yeah, it works. So Sony's good.
Yes. So there's a solid question. Yep. What you're going to want in order to put that in the car is you're going to want to pick yourself up, or maybe you have something that looks like this. Okay, this little cool tool here. This is the tool you're going to need to put a radio in that truck.
Yeah.
Because when you pull that factory radio out, there's going to be a lot of stuff behind it that is in the way of your new Sony. That tool will make it super easy for you to trim out and get your radio into the dash.
Now, don't try a different one. And the reason why is because the needles on the gauge cluster, you have to be careful because sometimes
like sometimes you can do a roto zip. The other thing too is make sure that you pull the wiring harness out of the way. So we always will unclip everything that is behind the radio and move it to the far side.
No, okay, so yeah, like Ada said, there's no need to do that with the Sony. But so what we do is,
well, if there's no,
we like to have plenty.
Now, if the Sony will mount into the kit and it's a shallow chassis, then at that point you really have nothing to do. So if it's a deep chassis, which I'm not familiar with that particular Sony, so shallow chassis are really nice because they're only this deep, in which case you don't have anything to worry about. You mount it in the kit, you snap it in the car, and you're done. Click, boom. Now, the only problem you run into on some of those is that there is if it's got the factory backup camera, the module for the factory backup camera is up behind the glove box. You have to take the top and bottom glove box out in order to get to that. The plugs are facing down towards the floor. Some of the harnesses will have multiple camera, meaning like it has a camera in this harness that goes easily behind the radio. It might not be there. You might have to get the harness. It might plug into behind the glove box, in which case, like I said, take the glove box out. You can't just drop it. You have to pull the whole thing out, faces down this way. Boom. There you go.
All right. So, see, that's the only thing it took so they can pay. Hey, you should set it early.
This is the first $20. Thank you so much.
Man.
Which amps and coaxials would you pair with the 6902 with? By the way, thanks for what you do. 6902, love those love those speakers. Like I said, big fan of Kenwood. All right, I know the show seems like it's been the Kenwood show. They're not a sponsor of the show. I get it, but they make really awesome products. The 901.5 is the bigger of the two amplifiers. If you have room for that, it's great. However, a lot of these Toyotas, they're small. They don't have a lot of room. The 802.5 is a solid pull also. They put out way more power than they're rated at. They're both tiny. They both sound great. As far as coaxials, just match up the 6.5-inch coaxials. I believe it's the KFC X174, something like that. It'll go in the rear. Perfect. You will need to get the brackets for the rear doors. Both pack-audio.com and metraonline.com sell the rear speaker brackets. Pick yourself up a set of those. The 6902s will come with the brackets. Yeah. Get yourself a nice 4-gauge kit
with foam and everything. So
yeah, 6902 is a solid one. It comes with the whole. It's more foam than you could possibly know what to do with.
Sure.
So that's it. That's what we got. And that's it. That's going to wrap up the show for tonight. Can you hide that?
Yeah, just hide it.
There we go. That's it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for playing along with us. Remember, this is the last week before MasterTech Expo. Next Monday, we will not be doing a show, but there will be a show.
Nope.
It'll probably in the middle of the day sometime. So that'll be Fernando and Fro being your host because I'll be busy doing something else. And these two guys do a great job at it anyways. If you caught it last year, they had a wonderful time doing it. We will be here Friday morning on Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips to do the news. So make sure to tune in for the news. You got anything else?
No, that's it, guys. So
follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, that's it. So thank you.
You guys have a great rest of your week. We'll see you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Bubba.
That one. That's the fun.